I'm happy to be joined here today by author Mark Leslee. He has a new book out that's the sixth in his Canadian werewolf series. It's called Hex in the City. Thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thanks for having me, Abby. Great to be here.
Of course. Now, tell me a little bit about what this book is, where the inspiration came from, and how it fits into the series.
Sure. So, Hex in the City, just to hold up a little prop here for you, is the sixth book in the Canadian werewolf series. It's co-authored with myself and a good friend of mine from California, Julie Strauss. And it's a dual perspective thriller. It's action, adventure, humor, as you can probably tell a little bit from the title, paranormal, urban fantasy, all the fun stuff. I've written the point of view of Michael Andrews, who's the main character. He is a Canadian who happens to live in New York City, and he's cursed with lycanthropy. Turns into a wolf, an actual gray wolf, for 10 days out of the month every year. As a human, he has extrasensory powers and strength, etc. So he kind of uses those to help other people. Gets himself into all kinds of trouble because he can't help sticking his scent, if not his nose, into other people's business to help out. And his best friend, Gail Summers, who runs an occult shop. They were a couple at one point. They became really good friends, and they kind of fight bad guys alongside one another. And this is when they accidentally uncover an ancient curse, and the whole world goes to hell, almost literally, as these demons start popping up from this ancient curse. And the two of them have to figure out how they're going to defeat these creatures, because part of the curse is they can't do it together. They have to fight separately. So Julie writes Gail's point of view, I write Michael's point of view, and it's got humorous moments. It's got lots of action and lots of adventure and lots of spooky magic stuff.
That sounds really cool and different and a great genre to write about. Was it easy having a co-author? What was that process like?
It's easy when you have the right co-author. It's like a partnership. It's like, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever. It's very much, and it's a longer term relationship when you think about the life of copyright. But it is, and Julie's in California. I'm here in Ontario, Canada, and we used a few online tools, and we've used spreadsheets to plot things out. There's a company called Plotter. We use that to do some visual plotting. So we we tag teamed back and forth over the course of several months, where I'd write my chapter and then pass it over to Julie, and she would write the next one. And so we kind of followed this timeline. And I need to know, what day is it? Where, what's the weather like? And because it's set back in 2017, does Michael turn into a wolf tonight at sundown? Like, so all of these things we have to map out. But it was a wonderful process, because we not only, before it even went to our editor, we were editing each other's work back and forth. And we knew kind of what the high level outline was, but we didn't know the details. So it was so much fun when I got Julie's chapters, because I knew roughly what was going to happen, but I had no idea, like, the details and the dialogue. And it was like a treat. And then by the time the editor got it, we'd already been through it so many times that I think it only took our editor about a week and a half before she got it back to us. And then we, went into second round of edits. But it was a great experience. But again, you have to have the right partner.
With this series, can the books be read as standalones or does it need to be read in order?
No, that's a great question. Thank you. And so I very purposely tried to write each book as if it could be read as a standalone. Now, it does follow a sequential timeline over the course of several years. And for readers who've read them all, there's, things happen and characters change and come in and out of the story. So there's a bit of that. It can be read as a standalone, but because there's so much of a backstory, and I don't want people to feel they have to go back and read the first 5 books in the series, Julie and I created the story so far. And so at the very opening of the book, Hex in the City, there's a thing that says, hey, this has spoilers, but if you want to get a quick 1-paragraph summary for the previous 5 novels, there will be spoilers, and there's plenty of warnings about spoilers. But it can allow someone to say, okay, in 5 minutes I can get caught up and understand how we got to this point. And hopefully that allows people to feel a little bit more comfortable. We tell the backstory. We go back and try to fill in the backstory, but not too much, because you don't want to disappoint the readers who have been following along. But it's almost like, a TV series where, a weekly episodic show is like, previously on, a nice little summary, so you can kind of go, okay, that's where they're going this week.
That's perfect for people who may not want to read the full series, but a few books here and there. Now, where can people find this book and the rest of the series?
They're all in hardcover, paperback, ebook. The audiobook for the newest one is not out yet. It is currently being produced by the two brilliant narrators that we have for that, but they're available pretty much anywhere books are sold online. You can even ask for them at the library. And if you're looking to find links to all those places, you can go to books to read, books, the numeral 2 read.com/Mark Leslie, and you'll find obviously the Canadian Werewolf series and all my other books there.
Awesome. Well, this book and the rest of your series sounds like a great read. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Abby.